The last 6 inches of freedom in your life is hand to mouth and what you choose to eat. And today we are filling that space with some incredible, fresh, raw dairy from Miller's Bio Farm. But this is not just a single video. This is the first of a series of 5 different videos we are going to do where I'm going to show you how to get the absolute max in nutrition and value out of a single gallon of this amazing fresh dairy from Miller's Bio Farm. I'm going to make sure to link down below their website so you can go and purchase some if you would like to try it for yourself. Today, we're going to do video number 1. We are going to make some incredible fresh made raw cream cheese, which is gonna hit harder than anything you have ever tasted from the grocery store. None of the fillers, none of the junk, none of the gums, and none of the processed weird ingredients. We're making this real, raw, cultured, beneficial, healthy, proper human diet approved cream cheese for all of your cream cheese needs, including the recipes that I make that use cream cheese so frequently. Homemade and all the probiotic gorgeous beauty that you would ever want from your dairy today on Chris Cookin' Nashville. So the big problem with store-bought cream cheese is usually it is pasteurized, it is filled with gums and other junk that we would really prefer not to have in our proper human diet. And honestly, it just doesn't taste very good. However, if we start with some of this amazing dairy from Miller's Bio Farm or whatever farm you might have locally that you can get fresh dairy, you can make your own. It's very simple. It's a very straightforward process, but it tastes incredible, and it is so much better for you. Before we dive into that, I just want to say I am using raw dairy. Now, I know a lot of people have their own opinions about raw dairy. You decide in your life whether you trust raw dairy or not. And if you don't, that's fine. You can do this recipe with non-homogenized milk or even pasteurized milk and cream, as long as it is not ultra pasteurized and as long as it is not overly processed. This will work with any of those pasteurized or not pasteurized milks that you are comfortable with using. We're going to be using a mixture of cream and milk for this cream cheese, and then we're going to have some other recipes we're going to do with this dairy as well. We are also going to be saving the whey that comes off of making this cream cheese and making some incredible ricotta cheese in a future video. So be on the lookout for more videos in this dairy series with Chris Cookin' Nashville. So one of the reasons I'm using raw dairy is because raw dairy does have some really nice beneficial bacteria, if you believe in such things, and I want to preserve as much of the fresh, beautiful flavor. You can get several different kinds of raw dairy or pasteurized dairy as well from Miller's Bio Farm, but it is all fantastic high quality stuff that is going to make this cream cheese turn into something extra beautiful and extremely tasty. Cream cheese is actually one of the easiest fermented dairy products you can make as well. So this is a fantastic place to start if you are brand new to doing things like this and culturing dairy so that you can use it. This is going to be very simple with raw cream and milk, a little bit of salt, a little bit of thyme, and I'm going to show you how to culture it and turn it into cream cheese. To make cream cheese, we're going to use a combination of cream and milk. Now, you can do this just with pure cream, but I'm stretching it a little bit and giving us a little bit lighter version of the cream cheese. So I'm going to use 50-50 cream and milk. So I have 1 quart of cream. I'm going to take half of this half gallon of the milk and add that as well. And this is a really interesting process. And truthfully, it's not very difficult. Essentially, what we're going to do is add a mesophilic culture to this milk and cream. And you can get one of these on Amazon. I will link the one down below that I'm going to be using. We're also going to be using rennet that is going to help separate the curds and the whey to create this cream cheese. This is the way the old world dairymen would have done this for hundreds of years as we have been fermenting dairy products to create things like cheese or cream cheese. And that mesophilic culture is going to help ferment the dairy, which is going to give us that tang that we expect in our cream cheese. We're going to combine the dairy. We're going to warm this up to between 75 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's going to preserve all of those great bacteria of the raw dairy that we have. Then we're going to add our mesophilic culture and a drop or two of rennet. I'll show you how we do all of that the proper way, and that's going to start to culture this. We're going to let this sit overnight on the counter at room temperature. It's going to turn it into this amazing product that we can come back tomorrow, and it'll start to separate from the side of the pan, very much like a pudding sort of texture. And then we can start to drain the whey, and I'll show you how we do that to get the exact right texture. And then we can finish our cream cheese and have an incredible product. Then all we have to do with the final cream cheese is we salt it and we enjoy or use it in a recipe however it is you would like. And whatever you do, don't throw away the whey, because as we drain that whey off of the cream cheese, we're going to be able to use that for a bunch of other things. And in a future video, I'm going to show you how to use it and make ricotta cheese to get the most out of your dairy products. One important note here is I'm going to use stainless steel. You can use stainless steel or you can use glass. You do not want to use something like aluminum or any other reactive metals. So make sure it is stainless steel or glass so that you do not ruin your ability to make this beautiful cream cheese. Day number 1, it's really simple. So in this stainless steel pan, I have added 1 quart of cream and 1 quart of milk. Smells and tastes beautiful, by the way. I have this on a low heat, but I'm bringing this up between 75 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And once I hit that temperature, I have a couple of things I'm going to add in. One is this mesophilic culture. I'm going to use about 1/8 of a teaspoon of that. And the other is liquid rennet, this microbial rennet or any kind of animal rennet, whatever it is, rennet you want to use. And the mesophilic culture is going to give us the tang and the fermentation of the lactose being turned into lactic acid, which is the tanginess you taste when you eat cream cheese that's made the real way. And then the rennet is actually going to take the globules of fat and protein and help them bind together, which is what's going to separate curds and whey as we process this dairy. So this isn't just cheese. It's a microbial collaboration between the Lactococcus lactis subspecies lactis and the Lactococcus lactis subspecies cremoris. Rennet contains chymosin, which is an enzyme that cleaves the casein micelles and creates the curds. Without it, you would end up with a sour milk soup, because without separating those curds and getting the whey and the proteins and fats to separate, you would have nothing to coagulate to get out of that liquid. And these two things working together is what's going to help separate the curds from the whey, turn that sugar of the lactose into the lactic acid, which gives us the tangy flavor. And all of this is going to give us the beautiful texture where the fat and protein binds together to actually hold its shape, even though it remains soft and spreadable. Now, if you add too much rennet when you do this, you will end up causing the curds to be rubbery and they will turn bitter. So whatever you do, don't add more rennet than this recipe actually calls for. And of course, all of that information will be on the recipe card for you guys, which is free on my website. And I have the recipe card page linked in the description box down below. All right, we are at 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to turn off the heat source and we are going to start adding in our other ingredients to turn this into cream cheese. So the first thing I'm going to do is add in our mesophilic culture. This is about 1/8 of a teaspoon, and I'm going to sprinkle this over the top. I'm going to let it sit for about a minute so that it can rehydrate, and then I'm going to stir it in, and I'm going to add my rennet as well. This is 1 tablespoon of chilled filtered water, and to that, I'm going to add 2 drops of rennet. We do not need any more because this is going to have a long processing time of 12 to 18 hours. The only thing this is going to do is help the fats and the proteins glob together as they separate from the whey. Slowly and carefully mix this through the milk and cream with an up and down gentle motion for 30 seconds. And we're going to set it off to the side and let it sit for 12 to 18 hours at room temperature to process. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my rennet. And I'm actually gonna use the milk and cream just to rinse that out a little bit. And then we're gonna very carefully stir for 30 seconds. And I'm kind of going up and down throughout the mixture, making sure that I get an even distribution from top to bottom. And then I'm gonna take this and set it off to the side, and we'll come back and check it tomorrow. 24 hours later, and we have cream cheese. So let's go ahead and open it up. All right, so there is our cream cheese out of the cheesecloth. Now, this next thing is totally optional. You can have it just the way that it is right here. Or if you want, for a smoother texture and really great flavor, you can throw it into a food processor, put in a pinch of salt, and we're gonna whip it together with a little bit of salt on the inside. So that'll make it taste really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we're gonna do a taste test. Now at this point, you could also add in herbs, garlic, pepper, anything that you would like to do if you want to make a flavored version of cream cheese. Feel free to throw it in, customize it, have some fun. We're gonna stick with just salt today. And that is the cream cheese made with the raw Miller's Biofarm dairy. Now, we have Pennsylvania's favorite here, which is actually not made in Pennsylvania, by the way. It comes from New York, but whatever. Philadelphia is proud one way or the other, I guess. This is a very different texture than the stuff we get in the store, just because of the fact that it could stand to hang there and drain. You can actually put some weight on it to help press out more of the liquid. It's entirely up to you. So the longer you do that, the firmer it gets. And if you put some weight on it, especially as it's hanging there, kind of squeeze and work some of that liquid out. I think this texture is actually going to be really nice. We're going to try it. We got the store-bought kind first, and then we have the homemade. Let's see what we think.
Clearly a difference in shapes, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that rectangular brick versus like kind of the softer, kind of looser stuff. Also the color difference, pretty crazy.
Yeah, this is very pale white. This is very cream off-white, almost heading towards a light yellow.
All right, well, let's try this good old store-bought stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm used to. You said that this is actually made in New York.
It's actually made in New York.
I've been lied to. All right, let's taste this stuff. Definitely already softer in the texture.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's no competition there, man. Wow. This from Miller's Biofarm, so much flavor. Softer. It is creamier, richer, bolder, fattier. It feels like a dessert. It's just so decadent. So good.
The tanginess of it is perfect.
It really is. It's not overpowering. Wow.
There's no weird gels or gums or additives or anything else in there. That is purely dairy and salt and the cultures and the rennet.
That is incredible. I'm going to take a little bite of our Philadelphia friend over here.
Yeah.
And I compare them back to back. Yeah, there's no comparison. This Philadelphia cream cheese, which my whole life has been the standard. This is plain. This is watery. It's actually harder to consume. This is like silky smooth, rich, fatty, bold flavor of goodness. Yeah.
It's really, really good.
Hands down, this is the way to do it.
It has a lot more actual dairy flavor to it.
That's incredible.
Well, there you go, guys. That's how we do the homemade cream cheese. And if you want to use it for recipes, maybe let it hang a little bit longer than I did so you can get it a little firmer. Even put some weight on it, set it in a colander. And after it's hung for a while and starts getting firm, you can put a gentle weight on it, help press out more of that whey if you want it to be drier. If not, by all means, use it that way. It'd be great on a carnivore bagel that I have. I'll link those down below in case you guys want to make your own cream cheese and then put it on a carnivore bagel. Miller's Biofarm is linked down below. So is the culture and the rennet that I use. So you can go and pick up any of those products if you would like to do this at home, along with the cheesecloth that I use. This is just the first video in a series of the dairy videos. So make sure you stick around and look for the next one, because we made the cream cheese. We're going to be making some mascarpone. We're going to be making ricotta from the whey that we get from this cream cheese and the mascarpone cheese. I'm going to show you how to culture and make raw butter. You don't have to make it raw, but I'm going to use raw dairy for that. But I'm going to show you how to make your own cultured butter at home. And then we're going to show you something cool to do with that buttermilk later on as well and make a buttermilk ranch dressing with spreadable butter mayo. It's gonna be fantastic. So this is just the first of a long series of dairy, and we might even do some more stuff, but we're gonna show you how to stretch 1 gallon of Miller's Biofarm dairy as far as we possibly can and get as many products out of it as we can so you can make every last penny worth of that incredible dairy count. All of the information you're gonna need is gonna be on the recipe card, which is on my website. That is linked in the description box down below. Go check that out. It's free, it's printable, enjoy. Other than that, all the other description box links you might need are going to be down there, including our private community, The Band, where we do extra support, extra recipes, all kinds of stuff in that community. Please consider joining. It's a fantastic place to be, and we would love to walk on this journey with you guys on a proper human diet as we learn ourselves how to get our health under control. We'd love to come alongside you and help you do the same. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Chris Cook in Nashville, my beautiful wife, Ash Taylor. You guys eat your meat. Now your homemade cultured cream cheese with Miller's Biofarm Dairy. Love your life. We'll see you here in the kitchen for a bunch of dairy recipes coming soon. And if you like cream cheese as much as we do, you got to check out this video right over here.
Yum! Wow. Is that why I got this job?
The fact you work for free helps a lot too.
Good job, babe. Good job. Good job.